Now, I know some of you are going to disagree with me, but the most recent Minis, the BMW Minis, if you will, are my favorites because the Mini Shenanigans are still there, but with a more sophisticated BMW lacquer. And now for Mini's next act, as shown here, as the Countryman John Cooper Works gets bigger, bolder, and even more whimsical.
At over 5 inches longer, with over 40% more cargo volume than before, this is Mini all grown up. A legitimate small SUV, if you will. And when you take the Countryman all the way to the JCW level, not only do you have the biggest Mini ever, but you've got the spec that delivers the greatest amount of fun. Turbocharged to over 300 horsepower with a new manual-like dual-clutch transmission, all-wheel drive with wider tires and optional high-performance brakes, this Countryman isn't as quick as before, but it's still a riot. And inside, the whimsy has been turned up to 11. The go-kart drive mode, the racier engine sounds. This is the antidote to the common refrain that every car looks the same these days. Boring has no place in the JCW Countryman. This Legend Gray example with the chilly red roof, updated JCW logo and quad exhaust is a head-turner. Pricing starts at about $48,000, while this one in the lavish Iconic trim with the Comfort Max package, 20-inch wheels with high-performance rubber, and JCW brakes checks in at $52,000. A price that may catch you off guard, but not as ridiculous as it may seem. Not only is this bigger, but it looks and feels more premium with more of a BMW presence inside. The cabin is leather-free. The dash is decked out in recycled polyester with exciting ambient lighting effects. The numerous experience modes are totally wild with various sounds, lighting, and graphics. The go-kart mode even gives you a little yahoo while tightening up the steering and increasing the throttle response. There are 3 different light signatures and a voice assistant named Spike. A head-up display, welcome lighting, and sport seats round out the highlights.
Well, it's really cold and, as you can see, a bit snowy out. Not ideal conditions for summer use tires, yet I am having a blast driving this Countryman around in its go-kart mode, where its senses are heightened and its sounds are snappier. Now, no matter which drive mode you are in, this tightly sprung ride quality here is 100% Mini, which means you'll be bobbing around quite a bit. And the steering is definitely go-kart-like quick, just as you would expect. And this one is obviously bigger than before, and that is noticeable from behind the wheel, but it's also definitely more polished overall. And for that reason, this Countryman JCW strikes the perfect balance for me.
There's also a quick grab boost mode for 10 seconds of all-out shenanigans, with just a taste of torque steer thrown in. 0 to 60 now takes 5.2 seconds as opposed to 4.9 in the previous car, but you're getting a lot more car here without that much more weight. This one tips the scales at 3,836 pounds while maintaining the same 26 mpg as before. Premium unleaded, please.
This cabin is wild. From the interesting texture of the materials to the ambient lighting to this enormous screen, this is really something to behold and something that takes getting used to for sure. Even you current Mini owners are going to have a steep learning curve here because there is a lot going on and it's not always the easiest thing to navigate. That being said, the techie in me loves this thing because it is so cool and packed with so many neat features. But I will say this, it can certainly be distracting.
Other than the increased luggage space, passenger volume is quite similar to before, but with 2 inches of additional height, with reasonable seating for 4, 5 in a pinch. Up front, the stuffed space is quite limited. But if the Countryman's tiny carrying capability has kept you away before, now's the time to revisit the possibilities. There's more max cargo room here than in a Chevy Trailblazer. A garden variety Countryman starts at about $40,000, and there's even an all-electric variant with over 200 miles of range. But it's this fully loaded JCW with all of the driver assistance features you could want, including some slow-speed, hands-free driving, that truly stirs the senses in a very unique, British-inspired treasure trove of fun. For Test Drive Now, I'm Steve Hannis.